and started fighting. Well, by this time they pushed down the ridge, and they were past us now. And the only place we had to go, this was our second big fall, was about 40 feet down. And we tried to slide off of this rock, but we fell. And I think what had really happened is one guy was sliding off and fell and reached up to grab his buddy so he wouldn't fall, and he was just hooking his buddy up because we just all went out. Well, there was another ridge stuck off to the side of it, and there was a bunch of shrubs and trees and bushes and everything stuck down in that. Well, we just broke through all that stuff. And when we hit the ground, we landed on top of each other, and we got stuck. I mean, we pancaked. And they just started shooting down into that hole we were in, and everybody got hit. Danny got the worst of it. He took a round through the throat and under the clavicle. We untangled ourselves, we got up, and we pushed out into this draw, and we fanned out, and we started pushing down the mountain. Now, the gun battle lasted for over 3 hours. And what I'm about to tell you doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't. I mean, every time I say it, it doesn't make any sense, but while we were in it, it made perfect sense. So in the beginning of the gun battle, if you were somewhere where you weren't falling, and ineffective fire came in, which means ineffective fire means somebody has you in their sights, but it hadn't hit you yet, your natural reaction is to what? You move, okay, to get out of that line of fire, that fatal funnel that we were in. Problem was you'd fall. Every time you fell, you broke something. By the end of the gunfight, if you were somewhere where you weren't falling, you wouldn't leave it till you got shot, because the fall was worse. I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's the way it was. Danny took a pretty bad fall and broke both his femurs and his compound fracture on one leg. And like I said, I was a medic. It was my job to patch these guys up, so I don't know. But he'd been shot 3 times that I know of. Well, I would drag him. I would drag him and throw him up against something. He and I were together. Axe and Mikey were together. We had our own little fire team. I tried to pick him up over my shoulder and fireman carry him at least 4 or 5 times that I know of, but I'd fall on top of him. And one of the last times I did that, he grabbed my harness and pulled me straight to his face, my ear to his mouth, so I could hear him. And he's like, "Do not do that again." And like I said, I probably did more damage to him than the militia because of my weight. But we got to an area where it was a dead drop, probably 200 feet, but there was a way we had to go off and we could slide around this bolt. Hard to explain. But I was like, "Hey, look, man, I'm going to take the brunt of this fall. I'm going to pick you up, man. When I turn around, we're going to fall back. When we hit the ground, you reach out, no matter how bad it hurts, start grabbing stuff to keep us from falling off this dead drop. You got me?" He's like, "Roger that, I'm on it." And we finished the magazine apiece, firing our weapons, and I picked him up. And when I turned around to take the brunt of the fall, I spun him right into a bullet. And I hit him in the back of the head and killed him. And, I don't pretend